Hello and konnichiwa, the Mega 76 back at you again with another part to building Guel's Dilanza, the high grade from Mercury. And right now, we're about to build his backpack. Last time, you remember, we finished off this absolute beefcake's lower body. And now we're going to build all his little bells and whistles. So, for the backpack, we are only going to need the A runner, apparently. So we're going to need A23 cut off from our runner right here. Then we're going to need A21. Then what we're going to do with A23 and 21 is those two pieces are going to slide together and make sure they are lined up, and then they just go right in, and that gives us our little backpack with is missing one part, which means we need to cut off A22, and what that does is we've got to do with A22. Do you know what we've got to do with A22? We've got to cut it out of this runner. Yeah, I know. Big shocker, right? So we've got to cut it out of this runner. And what it does is it slides in onto the backpack, which gives it these big spikies on the back. Then, just like most backpacks, there's two holes, two pegs. They slot right into each other, and that gives us his big harpoon-looking, shot-looking back, and that gives us our big, chunky boy. I can imagine that he is not great at posing, but what can you do? He's a big chunks, but I love the design because he's just a big guy. I love the design. He's just a chunky boy. And I love the chunky chunk. I love the chunk that this guy has, and I'm a big fan. He's got wide legs, he's got stumps. I think it's quite a cool design. Now, for the weapons, we're going to need D16 and D17. There's D1. D1's here. D16 and D17. So, D16, pop, and then pop, and pop, like that. And then D17, which is our long stick that he can hold. He has a long stick-reaching weapon with a tri-blade, beam blade, whatever it's called. It's just loads of awesomeness. Then that pops together like that. And then what do we do with that? We attach D15. I power around today. We take D15. I power around there. We take D15. And what we do, that's ran out, it's empty now. And then what we do is we get E2 off of this, which is a big blade, but it's a rubber blade, because if it was a tough, hard plastic blade, then the children would hurt themselves. Right? Nah, it's got spikes on the back here, like, what difference does a blade make? Actually, yeah, blade makes all the difference. Because this is big enough to be held like a little knife. So, what we're going to do now is this bit is going to slide into this, and that gives us our big harpoon that attaches onto the end of this in a certain direction, I believe. Yes, there is a certain direction to it. There we go. And that just pops right in and gives us our big lance spear thing. And what you do with the hands is you've got to pull off the back plate of the hands and then slide it in to the middle bit of the hand. Then what that does is you've got to close off this bit of the hand like this, right? Like this, I believe. Yeah, then you've got to do the same with the other hand. Then you can use this thing like a huge lancer for this guy. I'm just going to make him hold it like a staff, just because I cannot be bothered to put it in both hands. So he's got his big staff now that he can absolutely whack the Gundam aerial with, if these guys are enemies, I don't know. So he's got his big lance. So tall for a little beefy boy like him. Let's put him back here. He's got his lance, he's happy. And now what we need to make is we need to make him a big bullet gun. So, we get the B runner, which has all the parts we need. We need B26 and 27. But we're also going to need a sticker for this bit, which is surprising because we haven't used a sticker since the very first episode of this with his head. So this is going to be the first sticker we've used since episode 1. And it is... What happens is we need to put sticker 3 in that gap in the top. But I'm going to clip them together first. Then I'm going to put the sticker on. Just because I think that would be better for me. It's the littlest sticker ever. So, be very careful. Be very careful. Uh-oh. Having flashbacks to the RX-78 too. Earth colour version where there we go. I managed it. Yeah, so that took a second to put in. But then what we need is we need B20. And that goes on like a little magazine. Like a little magazine for the little minigun. The little gun has a little magazine. And then that goes in there, I believe, like that. Is it that way, or is it the other way? Yeah, it's that way. That's in the right way. And then what we do is we get the right arm, and apparently... Oh, I see what you got to do. So you got to take the magazine off. For putting it in the right arm, take the magazine off. Slide it in there. And then the gun slide it in there. Okay, so the gun just slides into the shoulder pad, into the shoulder plate, or whatever. Then what we need now is the E1, which is the littler blade. But it is still a blade, so they have to make it the soft plastic. Then this part, we don't need that part. Then the final part we have to cut out is B25. And what that does is it slides on and into there like that, giving us a little dagger which can just slide straight in the hand instead of having to have the pull off stuff. But if you don't want him to have the blade, what you can do here, I think I pushed it in too far, I can't get it out now. No worries. It would go into the shoulder pad. I'll put that on screen. But we do not need that part to... I'm probably not going to keep either of the accessories in the shoulder pad. To be honest, I'm probably just going to keep them separate. Just because I think it looks better that way. So it makes it more streamlined. For a big boy, makes it a bit more streamlined. But that then means this is it for building Guel's Dilanza. We're done. The instruction booklet's finished. Don't need it. Don't need any of these. They can all be thrown away now. So we're done, I guess. I'll see you guys next week for the review on this big boy right here. How's that sound? I'll see you guys next week for the review on this bad boy. Bye-bye now.